Switzerland had been one long exercise in restraint. Mine, not theirs. The mountains, the cowbells, the villages straight out of a twee fever dream. Every picturesque moment felt like it was personally mocking me. Oh, look at us! Switzerland seemed to say, we're perfect and orderly and we never break a sweat. It's the kind of place that forces you to reflect on your own chaotic existence, and let me tell you, I hated every second of it. Emma, of course, adored it. She dragged us from one scenic lookout to another, her face lit up like she'd just won the lottery. Fluffy, Maurice, look, isn't it magical? She'd chirp, pointing out every fucking snow-capped peak and flower-filled meadow. Magical? I muttered, narrowing my eyes at yet another cluster of smug-looking cows clanging their damn bells. If by magical you mean obnoxiously loud and filled with landmines of cow pies, then sure. The cowbells, oh sweet mother of catnip, the cowbells. They never stopped. Morning, noon, night. Clang, clang, clang. It was like living in a giant wind chime factory, and those cows knew exactly what they were doing. Smug bastards, chewing their cud, jingling their neckwear, and glaring at me like I didn't belong in their perfect alpine wonderland. If I'd had opposable thumbs, I'd have ripped those bells off and hurled them into the nearest ravine. Maurice, as usual, was lost in his own world. "Fluffy," he said one evening, staring into the misty mountains, "do you think gnomes live up there? You know, with the cheese and the chocolates?" I shot him a withering glare. "Gnomes, Maurice, if there's one thing Switzerland doesn't need, it's more smug little creatures thinking they're better than everyone else." But he just grinned, his tail twitching with excitement. "I think they're cool," he said, completely unfazed. "Maybe they'll let me join their secret society. If they do," I growled, "don't come crying to me when you end up wearing a pointy hat and shoveling cheese for eternity." Finally, mercifully, we left Switzerland behind. The moment we crossed the border into Italy, everything changed. The roads became narrower, the drivers more insane, and Emma's excitement hit a dangerous peak. "Milano!" she exclaimed, gripping the wheel of Vandalf with a death grip. "The fashion capital of the world." "Fashion capital!" I muttered, glaring out the window. "Great. Just what we need. Humans prancing around in outfits that cost more than a liver transplant." Maurice, of course, was thrilled. "Do you think they have designer cat outfits in Milano?" he asked, his blue eyes wide with wonder. "Designer cat outfits?" I repeated, my tail lashing. "Maurice, if Emma so much as looks at a pet boutique, I'm going to skin you alive." But Emma was already hatching a plan. "You know," she said, glancing in the rearview mirror at us, "you two sexy boys could use something a little more upscale. A designer collar, maybe. Only the best for my two little hellions." My ears flattened, my fur bristled, and I stared at her like she'd just suggested we take up synchronized swimming. "A designer collar?" I hissed. "Maurice, tell me she's joking." Maurice, ever the optimist, beamed. "Ooh, Fluffy. Maybe we'll get matching ones. If you even think about putting one of those things on me," I snapped, "I'll shred it, set it on fire, and bury the ashes in an unmarked grave." The closer we got to Milano, the more chaotic everything became. Italian drivers zipped past Vandalf like the Wacky Races cartoon, honking and yelling in rapid-fire Italian. Emma was trying her best to keep up, muttering, we're fine," as she narrowly avoided being sideswiped by a Vespa. Maurice, meanwhile, was plastered to the window, marvelling at the scenery. "Look, Fluffy! Olive trees! And is that a vineyard?" he asked, his tail flicking with excitement. "Great," I muttered, curling up on the dashboard. "Next thing you know, she'll stop for wine and decide we need a new experience." As the chaos of Milano loomed ahead, I braced myself for whatever fresh hell awaited us. Switzerland had been a smug, sanitized nightmare, but Italy? Italy was shaping up to be a carnival of madness, complete with overpriced collars and Maurice's never-ending enthusiasm. And knowing Emma, it wouldn't be long before we were right in the middle of it, causing a scene and loving every second of the fucking disaster.